Got the pressure cooker cooled from last night. Gonna make some liquid cultures. But first, gotta get some of this in me. It's gonna be a long one. I always like to start my morning unwinding a little bit. Coming underneath this huge tepu tree that I planted. This thing is 2 years old and it is monstrous finally. One of the best things I ever planted out here. And I just love to come check out my cactus. See how everybody's doing. These are all big ones that are about to go under the ground. This dude's in the ground. He's actually a Hascuensis. I don't know how to pronounce that, but that's about how you say it. It's another kind of San Pedro, very exotic. And then my favorite to look at in the morning is the variegated. This variegated is very nice. We're gonna sell the top piece of this so somebody else can get their variegated going and hopefully let it bush out. But I always like to come in here, kind of check on all my cactus before I start watering them and getting everything going. Got all of our little seedlings in here. And yeah, it's a beautiful morning. So stay tuned, and we got some surprises happening in the front yard that I'm very excited to show you. So let's get to watering and start our day. So one thing I found with these cactus is definitely not needed, but if you could get them hooked up onto a drip system, they definitely will soak up the water a little better. So I always turn on that drip. Coming over here, I got an Arizona rosewood that I planted like 2 years ago. This thing is finally just starting to put off some shade for our big old Nuestra Bonita San Pedro. This guy, I bought it, it was about the size of this arm when I bought it. And this was one of our first cactus ever that I bought. I bought it all the way in 2018. And I put it in the ground the second I moved into here. But sadly, it does get a lot of sun, as you can see. As you can also see, we got some buds coming in up here. Little couple flowers. We're gonna be hopeful that those pop off. I am not thinking that they will, just because of how much sun the top of this cactus gets hit by. But I'm hopeful, and we're gonna try to get it. Hey, Booker, come out to guard. That's my guard dog, Booker. He watches the cactus. He makes sure nobody messes with him. And then down here, I got a little seed. This guy I grew from seed. Bought it at the same time as I got this dude. I got him as like a 3-inch seed. And by this point, he is... Let's see if we can get a nice shot in there. He's very nice. Has multiple arms coming in. I'm gonna have to trim this bush back. Might do that tomorrow. And then we got this guy. All of these guys are hooked up to the drip. And the drip system, as you can see right here, is going. It goes very slowly, and I'll typically run that for about 30 minutes. And it'll get all of these cactus to soak up all the water. If you flush it with water, sometimes they don't soak it up as nicely. But the drip system works the best by far. Hey, Booker, what you up to? You gonna watch your papa? You gonna watch me turn on the water? Over here we got our seedling watering. We'll turn that on. The water goes straight on over here, where I got all these tents. And as you can see, all of these dudes get watered by that. Got a nice little San Pedro forest in there. This is how I get everybody ready before I put them into the ground. Got the second batch going over here. And then I'm hyped, look at that. We got a pup coming in. I just had to cut the top of this dude because he was getting a little too smacked around by the bush. But he's got a pup coming in. And surprisingly, there's no flowers on this one. This one I got at the same time as the Nuestra Bonita. One of the first cactus I ever got. But I'm hopeful next year. Next year we'll get this guy to flower. He's a Peruvian torch, actually. This is my biggest Peruvian torch. I love that guy. But this one over here is the fattest Peruvian torch. As you can see, I'm planting everybody behind shade. That's what you got to do here in Arizona. I got this is a massively thick Peruvian torch. One of these is like as big as a football. And he's in the ground, so gonna get him going, and hopefully I could get a nice breeding program going on all of these. So stay tuned and I'll show you what's happening up front. Something special's happening here at Sonoran Spores. As you see, here's our big old San Pedro, a little agave underneath it. And as you can see up here, we have a bunch of flowers coming in. A bunch of flowers. One of them actually just popped off. This is our 3rd or 4th year where the flowers will typically get about this big and then they'll just stop producing anything because of how hot it gets here in Phoenix. But they have finally figured out their way. I think it's because I have them planted here behind this big old tree. And this tree, which just so happens that this dragon fruit climbs up, but this tree shades the cactus as soon as it gets to like noonish, so that all of these flowers don't get hit by the heat of the day. One of the issues that I'm running into though is that this cactus was always flowering and it stopped. We have a couple buds in here, so I saved some pollen. I'm gonna try to breed these two, the little cactus and the big cactus, and I'll let you guys know how that goes. I was hoping we could get some flowers off of these guys, but it does not seem like this is the year. I'll say this dude is probably gonna go off next year. As you could tell, I put him in some good shade. He's being in nice and thick, and he gets nice and blue because of all the shade. But I'm pretty confident that this guy is also about to start throwing off flowers next season. Hopefully we could get some nice breeding videos going and I can do some seed giveaways. So stay tuned. We're very excited with what's happening over here, and I'm making improvements on my growing. Thank you very much. I almost forgot to tell you, Booker says, thank you. Thank you for watching us. Come back again. Oh my God, guys, I'm finally getting the San Pedro to bloom. This is crazy. I've never gotten it past this little nub size. That's probably the biggest I've ever gotten a bloom. But this, oh, that is humongo. We're gonna hopefully let that get a little bigger and check back in. So we're gonna put a bag over this just to ensure that no bugs get in it. The bag was over it before the flower opens, just so that it stays as fresh as possible.